We good?
Hello. Oh, thank you. You want to say hi?
I
We
can't
can't
hear
be
you.
on late because we've got shit to do.
No, don't be late because you're being brought into bed.
Okay, so I can't be late because I'm
Are
putting
you on
brilliant.
mute or mute? I can't hear you. There's no sound.
Fuck off. You can hear me. Have you upped the volume
There we
on
go.
your computer? There we
I
go.
fucking had it muted for a fucking meeting last week.
Oh, actually, I can't do that. Sorry, that's not fucking PC. Right. So we can't be on this late because I need people ready to bed.
Okay, anyways.
And I'm also 3 meals behind, hence why I've got these and I've got my little paste.
Paste.
So 40 grams of peanut butter, mix with 30 grams of jam, whisk it together, top notch elite level stuff.
And what do you have with that? Just by itself?
It goes in a bagel thin. So I put some in the bagel thin and I eat the other rest out with a spoon.
PBJ.
Peanut butter jelly time.
Yep. Cool.
How's your week been? I'm just going to munch halfway through whilst you're talking.
I know I'm behind on food as well. Aye, not bad. Yeah, not bad. I think what's been happening, just the usual shit. Last week of dieting. So that's fine. Back on the big boy food from this week. Should be.
Fuck that.
Back on Juice Plus diet.
That's how I feel right now. It's ace.
How do you mean?
It's gonna work. Because I don't know, I'm hardly on any food, but it's good. It's ace.
Aye,
Oh, that diet. Sorry.
aye, Juice Plus diet.
Is it Mars? You're right, they're having a wee rave.
Aye, straight sort of waiting. Yeah, so that's finished this week. Should be waiting tomorrow. Wednesday at the latest. We'll be back on proper boy food for 12 weeks. I'm not arsed by dieting, as we know. I don't care one way or another. Got to eat or got to diet, don't really care.
So where we left off last week,
Where was that?
cycle usage and dosages. We're going to leave off in there because you needed a poo and I needed a poo.
Where did we leave? Remind me. What was the part in the shop?
The highest dosage you've ever been
Oh, on test.
on
900.
just any cycle. So you disclose yours. I never disclosed mine because I never had time. And then we also do have a couple questions to go through. Only a couple. Hey, did you get any questions on your thing today?
I don't get any questions hardly anymore. I get the odd one occasionally.
I got.
Did you?
I was surprised. It's like, holy shit.
I don't know.
So yeah, so your highest cycle you've done with dosages.
Highest cycle highest cycle I've ever done in terms of milligrams, milliliters, that sort of thing. 900 test, 900 EQ, 450 MPP.
Wait, MPP, you only ran MPP one time. That was your last cycle?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yep.
And how did that go? Like that cycle, how did the weight go up? How did you feel?
Felt fine. Weight went up. Bear in mind, this was kind of pretty much post-show. After a period of nothing or TRT. Yeah, it definitely did the trick. So I'm going to change back. This cycle was meant to be test deca mast. Started it, obviously, and then had to diet for 4 weeks. So pulled everything pretty much. The last time I pinned was whenever we pinned together. I can't remember, what was that, like 10 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
So been very irregular with the TRT plus pinning just now. Just purely, partly on purpose, partly because I just, forget it can't be asked. but I'm going to change the Deca for MPP. I'm going to swap it back. I noticed, like, even with that 2 weeks on blast, it kind of, as much as I love Deca and swear by it, it did flare up a bit of the prolactin was a bit too high on it.
Okay.
Whereas I found with MPP, I didn't have that as much. So I'm going to swap back to MPP. And I'm going to do 600 test C.
Really? You're coming off an anthe? Well, you like an anthe?
I do, but I like to change them around every so often. So I'm going to do test C on this one. To be honest with you, the difference between test C and test D is precisely
Inside donut.
I don't know whether it's true or not, but I read somewhere that the only difference is one's manufactured in Europe and one's manufactured somewhere else.
Okay.
So in terms of half-life, etc., they're still pretty much the same. And I'm going to do 6 to 800 mast, and yeah, probably stick around about the 400 MPP, something like that, for the next 12 weeks. Prep cycle, it was probably more, I don't want to say a higher dose in that cycle, but obviously more compounds in it. So for prep cycle, I was on 300 test E, 300 test P. This is obviously over the whole period, like, added in at different times, but in general, the highest point. So 300 test E, 300 test P, 300 trem. Again, started on E, moved to A, but never went above 300. 300 mast. And then obviously at the end, the orals went in, so 50 megs of Winstone, 50 megs of Anavar a day.
Did you not run a rip as well?
What do you mean?
You had was it Tri-Tren or something that you used?
Oh no, I used a Tri-10. That was like fucking 2 years ago.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so what I did with that was, because I'd never used Tren before, when I was still, I don't want to say off season because I hadn't had a prep before, but when I was still bulking for that prep, instead of going into prep using Tren, having never used it before, not knowing what to expect in a prep scenario, and then having kind of like the stresses of diet and stuff on top of it, realizing that didn't work for you, throw up more stress or whatever, or bad reaction. I thought we'd try it out in a less stressful environment, or like under less pressure type thing, try it out and run it for 6, 7, 8 weeks to see how I reacted to it, before running it in prep. And that's when I tried the Tri-Tren, and again, I had no issues with that either. So
You became really happy with just weird.
No. 10 cycles I've ever done, I've been pretty damn happy. Which is weird, but don't complain. Yeah, so that's the 2 big cycles I've done. Apart from that, it's usually been the standard test Deca, bit of Anadrol, and that's it. Yeah, I've put pretty
Mine was my last one, which was 400 test, 300 MPP, 300 EQ, and 600 Primo. And I feel like I got nothing out of the EQ.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it. The first time I ever ran it, I didn't like it, and I pulled it out way too soon. I think.
Yeah, but you got skin issues with that, though, didn't you?
I did. It flared up pretty bad in my chest. With it wasn't even really acne. It was like fucking horrible red lumps in my chest.
Like welts, would they not?
Pretty much. So I stopped that obviously because, like, bodybuilding's a beauty pageant at the end of the day. There's not much point in trying to look good and then, being like having all the fucking muscle in the world if you wanted it, and then looking like a fucking spotty mink. What's the point? Do you know what I mean? Like, one's out balancing the other. So, pulled that out and it cleared itself up. Or, I was obviously washing the tea tree and stuff to get rid of it, and it went away. And then when I used it again the second time, I had no issues and quite liked it. If anything, it's
Do you run your doses louder the second time?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
But anything, the AI effect from it as well.
Scott McNally was like, the first time he ever ran EQ, he ran at like 300. He got fuck all out of it.
Yeah.
And he went back a couple of years later on. He ran at like 800, 900. And he said he got a huge benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
But my cycles have always been like standard. The first one was test, second was test MPP, third was test MPP Primo, and then it's just ran test MPP Primo the whole time.
Mm-hmm. I think it worked. I mean, that's kind of what I was saying last week about myself, using myself as a guinea pig. But then always reverting back to that sort of test. Okay, Deca never swapping that to, MPP, but a test and Androlone as the base has always been the sort of go-to because it just works. And then having like I say, that EQ, and I really quite liked it. But like I say, I don't know if I got much, like, well, I would have done, you know what I mean? But what I found was I had no need at all for an AI all-round EQ.
Mm-hmm.
None. Like, not at all. Whereas before, if I was running test Deca and Anadrol, for example, I would always have a Rimidex on hand. Even though obviously, nandrolones and that will raise prolactin instead of estrogen as such, but you combat them the same way with AIs, or you can do, obviously you can get KBID as well. But I found when I was running EQ, I didn't have to use.
I hate that, man. I fucking hate that.
What?
People like, maybe it's just me, but see when people think their first response for prolactin is like KBID, it's like, oh no, just because you're taking drugs does not mean you need a drug like that to counteract it. Like, first things first is like
I've never used KBID. Never used it.
I think Ellis told me he used it. He said it'd run him into the ground, but cleared up the issues he had, but it would run him into the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to find it hasn't, like on this flare up, it hasn't really worked. But if I do 10 milligrams of tamoxifen, Novadex, every day for a week, that usually brings it back down. Hasn't really helped at this time. It has, but not as effective. But then the tamoxifen I've had for about fucking 2 years, and it's been open, so God knows if it's still good or not.
Yeah.
So, but that's usually my go-to if I get a flare up. Tamoxifen for 10 milligrams a day. Arimidex, 1 milligram twice a week or something like that, and that's usually pretty good. But this time, obviously, I'll run mast high and see if that helps the issue.
Yeah, I got my order in the other day. Mind I told you last week I was going to put my order in.
Yeah.
So E3s are in, T4s are in, along with the climb in the morning. Spoke to Cam. The cycle we are running is going to be test, primo, and that fun little coloured vial that people seem to love. Maybe at the end we might bang in a little bit of mass to see how it is. I know how I want the look for the photo shoot. Like, I don't want that kind of like softer photo shoot look. I want to be like fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
So that's the look we're going for. And after seeing my legs, a day after training legs, they look like they're coming already within that 2 weeks of just dropping all that water weight and just a wee bit of weight off too.
That's good. I mean,
they feel like fucking glass though.
Yeah.
I miss MPP. Like, no amount of glucosamine is fucking helping. It won't.
No. I've noticed that with. So what I've been running in this sort of 4-week diet is obviously half a mil of, so 100 milligrams of test a week, 100 milligrams of, no, maybe just over 100 milligrams of mast, and about 125 milligrams of Deca. So I mean, it's not a TRT, it's not a cruise, it's a cycle, but a very, very low one. But the Deca has been definitely helping my shoulder.
But you're training with it fucking dislocated for how long without knowing it?
Yeah, it must have been a good, I don't know, 2 months or so. 3 months.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Probably before, well, probably prior to the show, right through until like 2 months after.
Yeah, it didn't really cause any effect of you hitting like a readable by or
I
last
found
red
getting
or
into so things like I couldn't do like my side try, for example. I had to do it. I could only do it on one side, but I just thought it was like a goose shoulder. And thankfully, I never asked, when doing comparisons to do one at either side. It was just one or the other.
yeah.
So that was decent because I knew hitting it from doing a right hand side try would have been pretty much impossible. The rear double buys, you could feel it was uncomfortable, but you can't really avoid that. But I didn't realize it was, I certainly didn't realize it was dislocated. I just thought it was like an age old injury until when I did go 2 months in to get my fucking deep tissue work. And she's like, can you feel your fingers a lot of the time? I was like, no, it comes and goes. Like, and she's like, yeah, your shoulder's half out in socket. Like, then obviously she nuzzed it back in, which was pleasant. So yes, I never really noticed it. Like I said, I just thought it was a strain, but obviously now caused a lot of issues ever since and before. So bit of a pain in the ass.
I was training legs today, and like I think what I need is that kind of like that reset of a leg session to basically just make things a little bit better and just get back in it.
Mhm.
Every second session is fine, but lately with legs, it's just trying to push myself. It's a cunt.
Yeah.
So today, for some reason, I thought I'd go for pendulum, even though I've been avoiding it because my that calf issue I've had.
Yeah.
Got up to 6 plates. It worked fine when moved, but with my knees, the whole like that, it felt fine during that. But seeing knees and like that leg extension to warm up on, felt it the whole way through. Leg press, could still feel it whether my legs were high, whether my feet were low, feet were high. Like lunges to warm up, even bodyweight squats, I could just fucking feel them. Just no matter how much blood I got around it and stuff like that, it's just felt them. And I always feel it that 4 weeks off.
Really?
Yeah, but
That's
I've got
my knees are good.
yeah, I've got 1 more week left, and then we add stuff in.
So you run the T3, T4 climb combo the whole way through?
Until Cam makes a change.
So
So I don't know so far. I mean, the shakes have stopped, the headaches have stopped after that first couple of days. I notice I'm more productive
are you
on it,
on and off of it, or are you like just on it every day?
on every day for now because it's only been 2 weeks in. The T3 and the T4 have only been added in since Tuesday. So we'll see what he's doing. I suspect we will not be going anything above stupid levels.
Yeah.
And I suspect he'd
Just
pull
keep
it
it
out.
going on.
He'd pull it out and then near the end maybe add it a little bit in and then be a little bit more aggressive with it. But the way he sent my check-in was like food staying exactly the same as what it is. The drops coming down fine. It's just we're like that far out for where my body is right now.
Yeah.
We can just cruise through it rather than basically be aggressive as fuck from the get-go.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
I've got to admit, that's why I'm a bit surprised that he's got T3, T4 climbing this early on.
Yeah.
I find that quite surprising. But he knows what he's doing.
That's it.
He's a
man with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 things we'll discuss for now. Let's talk about your videos that you put up.
Fucking pain in the arse. Absolutely, honestly, it ruined my fucking day yesterday. Completely ruined it. The point where I don't think me and Carby spoke for about fucking 6 hours yesterday.
Must have been bliss.
For who?
Her.
Yeah, no, it was honestly, like, I don't get how the goalposts move. Like, how can I post videos that are, because even online it says you can post videos between 1 minute or like from whatever 30 seconds to fucking 10 minutes with no issues.
I did that. I had that video of me and Ellis doing that bicep blaster thing.
Yeah.
3 minutes 33 seconds, and it just uploaded straight away. Whereas I tried to put a statement about MBS subs going up yesterday, and it wouldn't. It would only go to 1 minute 30.
Do you think there's maybe a glitch in it then or something?
Possibly.
Because it seems on, like, when did I put the other video? Monday, no issue. And then on Saturday, and then if you're saying you have, I wonder if there's just maybe a problem with the fucking matrix.
So
but yeah,
so your topic that you had,
mhm.
let's run through it. Because I think it's a very, very interesting topic to have.
Okay. What do you want to run through?
Start from the beginning. What was the topic?
PT's been in shape.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
PT should be in shape. No, my point was, right, you can have it like knowledge is knowledge, right? So the point I made in the video is you can be 30 stone, like Jabba the fucking slut, and have, you know, and have the knowledge on how to diet and how
Are you talking
to,
about coaching or OnlyFans?
well, no, coaching. So you can have all that knowledge, right? And that's good. Like, but everyone, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to realize how to diet is obviously less, less calories in your burning, and to build is more calories. Right? No one's disputing that. So you don't have to be in shape to have that knowledge, or even have an outstanding knowledge of dieting or building muscle. What you can't have is if you've got a coach who's never dieted, looks like a sack of shit, has all this knowledge, but they've never been in the process themselves of even getting into relatively good shape. There's one particular PT that kicked this off, in case you couldn't have guessed, with me being me.
I don't know. See, you and me have had this discussion beforehand. You follow people who on purpose rile you up, and you still follow them. Whereas if somebody annoys the shit out of me, I don't follow them.
I don't follow this person.
Right? Okay.
Okay. So it kind of came up in a conversation. It did boil
Male, female?
It was actually female.
Okay.
And this person has never been in shape, but they're obviously preaching, especially to women. I think it's a more gaining weight or losing diet. It's, I don't want to say a bigger thing to female, but it's maybe more sensitive.
Okay.
Women's body image. I know obviously men suffer from body dysmorphia. I know I do as well, but
that's the next topic somebody actually asked about.
Yeah, no, we'll get into it. But like, so women's more sensitive. So you've got somebody who's telling you how to diet and like, well, don't eat off plan, and you need to stick to this and that, but they can't do it themselves. Like, how do they relate to the client that they're telling to diet? They can't, because they don't know their feelings. They don't know what it feels like to be fucking hungry. They don't know what it feels like to be deprived of food you like. Where's it coming from? How can you advise somebody or navigate somebody through a situation you've never experienced yourself? Like, you have the theory behind it, the knowledge is in there, the black and white knowledge, but where's the practical, like, the practical resolution or relatability? There isn't any.
Okay.
I mean, I could read the same book, the same textbooks or whatever as a brain surgeon, and have that knowledge in my head. Are you going to trust me if I can do brain surgery on you?
No.
Well, exactly. So why would you trust a coach?
Right. I think that's a little bit different. Prime example for that surgery analogy. That surgeon is never going to put himself through that surgery themselves to do it, are they? They practice on people, cadavers, and they still practice on people. Same kind of thing. All you need is that person who's willing to follow a meal plan, and if they get results, they get results. I can see where you're coming from about being in shape, but I see that more as how do you put it? Like me personally, I wouldn't go with a coach who wasn't in shape. I personally wouldn't. Exactly. Looking at the visuals outside looking in, right? Mm-hmm. They could be like literally Chris Aceto, but unless I knew that from the get-go.
Yeah, but Chris Aceto competed.
Well, yeah, there's that. But what I'm saying is,
so does Hanley Ramble. They don't do it now, but they've done it. They've gone through the process. They know what it feels like to be hungry.
But what I'm saying is, from the outside looking in, if I seen somebody and they weren't in shape and they were like literally like off the couch, 450 pounds, right? Mm-hmm. Not knowing they've got all that knowledge that Chris Aceto and all that's got, I wouldn't give them a second look.
would you, if you knew they had the knowledge, would you still consider them?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
Even though they never dieted themselves, ever?
Yeah.
Would you?
If they've got the proof to back it up, as in they've got previous clients and stuff like that, yeah, 100%. Wouldn't bother me.
I wouldn't. Not a fucking chance. Because if you go in, like for me, I could turn around to Drew at any point in prep and be like, this is how I'm feeling. He can relate to that. If you've got somebody who can't relate to it, I'd be like, shut up. Like, just get on with it. Like, there's no, like, they can't.
You're like that.
Yeah, but I've done it. I've eaten so much food, I've become a fat fuck. I've dieted in reasonable shape. I've dieted for preps. I've done maintenance. I've done it all. So I know how to respond to it. I know exactly. So say Johnny comes to me just now because Johnny's obviously dieting, he's down 10 pounds or whatever, and says, like, this is what I'm experiencing. The chances are I've experienced it as well, so I can navigate him through it. Yeah. If I haven't dieted and he comes to me going, I'm feeling like this, oh, well, is that normal? Like, I wouldn't know if that's normal.
I can understand that.
You know, so that was my point. And then the second point was, as you just said, you want somebody to be in shape.
From the outside looking,
somebody to be inspired. Yeah, you want somebody to be like, oh yeah, they're in shape. They know that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to look a bit like that, and I'm going to follow their guidance. Like, if you want big arms in the gym, what do?
You go train the person who's got the biggest cunt in arms. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So this also brings on to the point that I've said to you many times with me coaching clients who are actually bigger and more muscular than myself.
Uh-huh.
So I've had it before where clients also, they're bigger than me, also more muscle than me. Mm-hmm. And I felt like, oh fuck, like I'm coaching him. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. But it's my knowledge that's also helping that client.
Well, it's your knowledge, but also
in my head, I'm thinking, oh fuck, like I'm smaller than him.
Yeah.
He's asking me for advice and help.
That doesn't matter. The point is, you've still pushed your food high. You know what it feels like to be fucking full of it and struggling with appetite.
2 years, not even a
fucking that feeling. But you've also dieted, so you know how that feels.
Great.
So you've done the process. So the fact that somebody's bigger doesn't matter. The fact is you can relate to what they're feeling at any point in their process because you've done it.
I've got a funny feeling I know who you're on about this one. I think I shall message.
You can. I probably wouldn't even remember their name. It was literally just something cropped up on whatever.
Right.
I would recognize the name if you said it to me, but I can't. Like, I wouldn't be able to tell you just now off the top of my head. So yeah, so that's like I got an inquiry this week from a guy, 110 kilos.
The guy you told me about?
Yeah, indecent.
The guy wants to be like a fucking juggernaut.
Yeah. So he's obviously bigger than me, but I still know what he's gonna. I still know how he's gonna feel in the process.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. So that was my point. Is it's just about relatability. Somebody who's walked in the shoes is going to be able to guide you better than somebody who hasn't. The knowledge is knowledge. Anyone can have it. Like I say, I've fucking flown a plane before. It doesn't mean I'm going to be the next fucking Maverick in a fucking, fucking Tomcat flying upside down with fucking MiG jets.
Right. Fair point. So lean on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is it. At the bus.
Oh,
right. Body dysmorphia in men, mental health, and normal guys compare themselves to the top 1%. It's human evolution.
Yeah.
So,
how do you mean? So,
right, you're always going to, right, imagine like you always look up to the alpha, right? If you're into the gym, you always look up to the biggest cunt going, right? Boy could be an absolute arsehole, but you can still idolize him because of the physique he's built. People will try and do whatever they can to try and get that, try and replicate that as much as they can. They'll abuse food, they'll abuse PEDs, You know, they'll also bury themselves in the gym. You know, they'll
Yeah.
try and get as much recovery as possible. There'll be something given, but if they haven't physically got the genetics to get there, no amount of food, PEDs, sleep is going to get you there.
Your body's only going to do what it wants to do.
Exactly. So
But that doesn't
then
mean
that makes you feel like shit because you're like, I'm never going to be one of these people who are
I
like
think
that.
it does. Yeah. Do you know what I think it does? It will make you feel like shit, but I think with experience and time, you start to realize that everyone is different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so, and do you know what? Or I still get it. I'm like, fucking hell, how is that cunt, like, the weight, the size, or whatever they are, and I'm not doing anything different. I'm not, because my body's not that, you know what I mean? So you still get it, but I think it becomes less, once you accept the fact and have a bit of time and a bit of experience, that no two bodies are the same, really. You learn to accept it and just become the best version of you. So that's what, I want to win my shows, obviously, because otherwise, what's the point in competing?
Mm-hmm.
But I know out of 6, 10 people that get on stage, none of us are going to look the same.
Yeah.
So the idea is, I just need to be absolutely 100% of what I can be, and then if they're 100% of what they can be, then it's down to like personal preference. As long as you don't skip the beats or like cut corners or whatever, you're going to be the best version of yourself, unless something goes wrong during peak week, of course. But that's down to your coach. But yeah, no, it is a real thing. Like, it's quite, I think, certainly in the youngsters, and that's why I think we see more and more younger guys exploring PEDs. Maybe not necessarily going on, but they're certainly a hell of a lot more aware of it,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a viable option to them to try and become the next fucking Arnold or whoever. But it's not necessarily going to get you there, and more and more and more is not necessarily the answer either.
Yeah. All right, sorry about that. Sorry, I just got a message come through.
Uh-huh.
I can understand. I mean, there's guys in the gym that I train at, and like they're 18 and they're on, but you wouldn't think that they are. But then you can look at me. I can say to you, obviously, folk know that I'm on, but probably don't look like I am.
Yeah, no, I'm probably the same with some folk.
So it is one of those things. But like folk are jumping at 18. It's like you also haven't even tried to build a muscle. You clearly haven't tried to build food up from that point or anything. Which is one of those things where like I think it's definitely fundamentals. Like you need to actually. What I think is going to happen as soon as you pull out the drugs, you're then going to crumble. You can be like, I can't fucking do this without the drugs. Whereas I know full fucking well if I'm off the drugs, I can still push my food higher. I can still train. Blah blah blah. Whereas if you're starting it from that point as a get go, you're not going to have that mentality to be like, "Fuck, I'm doing this by myself." You're always going to be like, "I need to be on."
Correct. No, I totally agree. I don't, on or off, I don't really care. My training doesn't change. It doesn't slack. It doesn't. Do you know what I mean? It's like I've not been on for, okay, I have been on for 4 weeks, but not anything near what I would normally run.
Mm-hmm.
100 megs a test is fucking a dip in the ocean. But my training hasn't suffered. If anything, yeah, maybe some lifts aren't as good, but some are better, because you're still pushing yourself, or you should still be pushing yourself. Like, food, training, rest are the three key things, and then you can start sprinkling in other shit once you've got everything else dialed down. If you're fucking 50% of everything and then throwing in fucking drugs on top, what are you gaining? Except from probably fucking dying at fucking 45 years old.
Fuck what's going to happen to your body if the food's not there to push up scale weight. The food's not there, fuck what's going to happen.
Plus, you're going to fucking fry your receptors as well. So fucking early on. You're not going to benefit later.
Body composition might change a little bit, but it's not going to be anything that you're fucking looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So mental health, I've got a bit about this. Speaking to Justin about this as well. Maybe it's just me because I'm naturally a bit of a doer cunt. See, don't get me wrong, mental health it needs to be a priority. It really does, right? 100%. I think you might be the same way with me, but mental health needs to be a priority. But I'm sick of constantly hearing about this whole positive mental attitude, doing this, doing that. Whereas I'm not being funny. Sometimes you just want to be left alone and be a doer cunt. And get on with your day and be better. Like, you know what I mean? Doing this, put this out into the atmosphere and doing this, I'll make you better. Fuck
goes into
that.
the universe, you fun, the atmosphere.
Atmosphere is in the universe, is it not?
No, but I get what you're saying. But I'm slightly different. I think there's this is going to sound a bit backwards, but I think there's a degree of healthiness to having down days or down times.
Okay.
Sometimes you do, just as you said, need to be left alone, like to figure your shit out. So yesterday was a prime example. So can't people say I fucking lost my shit or I was losing my shit or got in a bad mood because of Instagram, right? The video. It technically wasn't. That was just the final straw of a week long of every day of last week. Something, even if it was only small, went wrong. So it was like a case of fucking one step forward, two steps back for the whole fucking week. And then I just wanted to fucking post up a 10-minute video or whatever it was, 7-minute video, and get on with my fucking Saturday to enjoy myself and chill out. It ended up taking a fucking 3 hours to post a fucking video, which then drove me over the fucking edge. So I got in the car and fucking just went for like a half-hour drive. So that was my point of, right, okay, I want to be left alone to be a miserable cunt for half an hour. And then it was fine. But, so I do think it's healthy for that because it gets out your system or whatever, or you get to experience that emotion, which you should do. But I do think you need to be positive or have a positive attitude for 90% of your time.
But do you feel when people project this on Instagram, a lot of it is fake?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because people are here, like, so I've known about this fucking affirmations for years, and I got introduced to it through a friend of mine that I met when it must have been 2006, 15, 16, when I was working for Weather Seal selling windows. And I'd never heard of it before. Positive affirmations and the secret and speaking out to the universe. So I kind of got into it then. But now it's become so fucking popular that people are just repeating what somebody else has fucking said, but they don't actually understand the process of it. Mm-hmm. So now it's just a buzzword, positive mental attitude is just sorry, not buzzword because it's 3 words, but like a buzz phrase that people use to fucking fake inspire other people on Instagram for likes and for fucking whatever, follows or whatever. Whereas these people probably have not got a pot to piss in. Do you know what I mean? They're just following a trend.
This is, I see it as almost like how a depressed person is. So also you have like with having depression and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Normally, when you're out in a group of people or whatever like that, it's like the joke maker is the one who's doing it because they're like almost like playing a game or playing a role is what it is. But inside it's just completely fucking crumbling. And I kind of see it to a certain degree on Instagram when people are also projecting this kind of like image of them being so positive in that. And like you're like, I know he's a person. You're nothing like that when you're off camera. You are completely fucking different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, what I do, or what I remember on most days, is at the end of the day, or the start of the day, I'll write down goals for the day. At night, I'll write down what I've done. I won't write down what I've done bad. I'll write down what I've done well. I'll write down things that I'm grateful for. And then I put it in a book and then I close the book and shut the book until the next day. I don't fucking go on Instagram, fucking posting about it or anything. And then I think, so 2015, 2016 would have been pretty much when I lost fucking everything. Job, 12-year career, fucking, I'm not going to go into it, but and fuck all. And then, you know, you get into like a depressive state, which I did, popping fucking uppers from the doctor every day, and then taking fucking sleepers at night to try and get some, you know, try and get some sleep. And then at the stage where I took the fucking whole packet of sleepers and a bottle of vodka. And then woke up fucking very, very fucking cold in the bath, like fucking 6 hours later or whatever it was, 8 hours later, with a fucking stonking headache. And, you know, I was like, I can't fucking do this anymore. And that's when I decided to make change. I came off all fucking antidepressants, I came off all fucking sleepers, stopped smoking a bit of fucking weed, you know, which I used to help try and sleep. Not much, by the way. Never a fucking stone. I would have like.
I've never touched it in my life, so I wouldn't know. But
No, I'm talking about. Not even enough to give you the munchies. Just enough to like help go to sleep. All that shit. Started writing shit down. Started having goals, and then 6-7 years later, here we are.
I think coming off antidepressants was probably the best thing I ever did, because inside I felt numb. Like there was no emotion there whatsoever. So
yeah. Well, I said that to the doctor when I was on them. I was like, this is just fake, because all you're doing is creating this fake bubble inside your head. It's not real. Like you don't. It might make you feel better, but you're not actually feeling better. It's just a chemical reaction.
Yeah. So when I went in, I was on it for a month. And I said one tablet does absolutely nothing. I'm still feeling X, Y, and Z. Still getting that periods of what I want to do, and blah blah blah. And she goes, right, we'll double the dose. It was like literally 2 weeks after she doubled the dose. There was nothing whatsoever. Like Justine didn't know who she was getting, whether I was just going to be like this, or whether I was going to have a conversation with her, or anything like that. I just felt totally numb inside. And it got to the point where Justine actually just said to me, listen, you're just coming off them. You just need to get off them. That's it.
Yeah.
End off.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, I'd still get those days and moments where obviously things get on top of me and I feel like it's crumbling and fucking.
That's human. That's just human. Like everyone's gonna get days like that.
Yeah. Last night, for example, was like that. I was ready to fucking punch a wall last night because of that bath.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Though, that's the thing. Though, that's a natural thing to feel, and a natural emotion to feel. At this point, it's probably worth pointing out for the 64 people that or 46 people now that probably watch. We're not doctors. We're not advising you come off your medication. We're just.
You should fucking know that by now.
We're just giving an opinion.
Hold on. When you applied for Gladiators, did you not call yourself Dr. D-Ball?
I did. Never heard back about that, funnily enough.
Right, I keep getting emails about it saying registration is open, but the funny thing is, it asks you about steroids, right?
Yeah. I was there for about 10 minutes filling that fucking form.
Yeah, Jamie Johal keeps going on his Instagram about Gladiators might be in contact with him for him to be a gladiator. So, if that is the case, it can't be an issue.
Aye. Fuck knows. But then is this like the taboo subject of influencers being on fucking gear but not telling you?
Like, no, he's very open. He's very open.
No, I know he is, but or ITV or BBC or whoever the fuck it is, are they just going to be like, well, we'll brush it under the carpet because he's like a fucking freak of a human, and we'll just ignore the fact that he's on PEDs because he's like fucking 24 foot tall and like 800 pounds or whatever the fuck he is.
Probably, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, well, we'll just ignore the drug use because he'll look good for the show.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas I certainly never heard back after my fucking 6 pages long with PEDs listed or tried.
I never heard anything back. All I keep getting is emails saying registration's now open. I'm like, right. So, and you have to fill in the form again. So, like, clearly it's just a normal, like.
I filled it in once. I've had their opportunity to have Neely on it. If they don't want it, then tough shit. Their loss, not mine.
Their fucking loss.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, no. Yeah, so with that, yeah, no, I do believe in positive affirmations, but I don't believe everyone who talks about it actually does it, if that makes sense. I think it's just like a popular thing, because Conor McGregor has come out and said, for example, he did it a few years ago, came out and said that's what he did. He would drive about the car park and be like, right, that space that I want is going to be available. Do you know what I mean? Like, tell himself that, and then it would be available 9 times out of 10. So he used it a lot. So like people will be, I'm using him as an example. There's loads of folk that come out. So now every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's got an Instagram account is like, yeah, so sticking my affirmations out there. Well, are you, or are you just saying that you do?
Yeah.
Because it sounds cool for Instagram, and you might inspire some other fucking 18-year-old to go out and get credit cards and finance and shit like that and appear to live an expensive lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, I won't say that's what happens, but most of Geordie Shore are in debt or bankrupt.
There's a lot of people that ride off of mum and daddy's money.
Oh yeah, we did speak about that, didn't we? Was it me and you that said call them a bunch of losers? Was that
what?
you? When I said they're just all over just a bunch of losers, was it you that said that to? Can't remember.
No, we had a conversation about people thinking that they're going to be like a name brand, but it's literally using their mum and dad's money.
Yeah.
That's what we spoke about.
Yeah, got you. All right, but I mean, yeah. Well, wish my parents would do that. Anyway, but that'd be a great lifestyle. Yeah. Okay, so that's that one. What else have we got?
That was the 2.
Okay.
That was the 2. Apart from that, that's about it. Have you done anything this weekend? What are you doing?
What did we do this weekend?
What the fuck is that? What was?
I was in mid-thought. There was something else we were going to discuss, but I can't remember what it was. What have I done this weekend?
Oh, I've got a question because this came up with Justine. What is worse, sucking a tea or licking a hole, like a butthole?
Sucking a toe.
I'd have thought. Babe, can I bother you for a second? You're going to be Insta famous. You're going to be famous. I think you're a star. My glamorous assistant is just coming. It's near me. Right. What is worse? Sucking a toe or getting your butthole licked?
Sucking a toe.
That's not what you told
No.
me.
I would prefer my toe to be sucked.
Rather than me to lick your butthole.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, actually.
Fuck that.
You're a vile cretin, so don't even start.
She actually goes, how can anybody be into ball gags?
Your next level. Some of that.
Jesus.
Jimmy!
Let's not forget the famous check-in picture with the fucking ball gag in the background.
Oh, no, I should do. I really should just like input the photo, like, here.
If you want. Yeah. No, I would much rather eat Carby's arse than suck her toes. 100%. As long as she's had a shower, of course.
To be fair, I'd rather lick your arse and suck your toe after the shower. I'd rather do that. Because they're both near the same area. Whereas your toe, you've been on the carpet, on the floor, there's stuff in your toenails, like, yeah.
Nah, feet are just fucking minging.
I'm sorry, but could you imagine spreading Miles' cheeks and licking it? No, thank you.
Oh, I wouldn't fucking eat
But not all
that.
about that. I'm all about me licking your arse. You're not licking mine.
Either way, it's not happening. Alright? You can suck my toe as much as you're getting.
Just the toe.
You can have. How many toes have you got? 5. You can take all 5.
You actually just count how many toes I got.
And you can even count them, right? You've got
Another
fucking
one is
10
a
toes.
long day.
You feel.
Eh?
You've got 10 toes, you feel. Not just 5.
Yeah, but I
I'll only get one foot. I'll only get the one.
You could probably fit all of my toes.
Nah, feet are just wrong. It's the same as these fucking.
Yeah, but
same with these scabby minks that deadlift in bare feet and walk around the gym in bare feet. What are you doing?
Yeah, God.
That's
Fucking Veruca Central.
I'm there to pick up weights, name because
good. Is that all?
that's you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So looking at the whole later on tonight, aye?
Veruca Health and Fitness Club.
Oh, God.
Gross. Get yoga socks.
Well, yeah, so funny you mentioned that. So I was speaking to that client I started last week, and when she trains, she likes to train in her socks because obviously shoes, depending on what she's wearing, has like also that kind of slight elevation a little bit. And when she was on the reverse V squat, her feet were sliding. I was like, the best thing to do is get her deadlift socks, or if you want to have fun, go to jump in the trampoline park and just go there for a day, steal the socks and train in them. And the rubber grips will just hug you right in.
Yeah, you don't need to be training in bare feet. Unacceptable.
No, I don't think there's, and it's very, very unlikely that the kit is going to be cleaned as well. Do you really think the videos we've seen of people deadlifting are actually going by and then fucking spraying the floor? No. Do you really think that the actual people who work in the gym at night time are going to be mopping down that platform in the wood? No.
No fucking chance. Absolutely not. Let's just say, like, so take a leg press, for example, just because it's an easy bit of kit to like relate to. You sit in the seat, you hold the handles, you put your feet on the fucking platform, and you do the exercise.
Yeah.
You finish the exercise, you get off, you spray the seat and the handles. You don't spray the fucking platform like the foot plate.
Because everybody's got their feet covered.
Well, not even that, but you wouldn't even think about it, I don't think. Do you know what I mean? So you can't say somebody's going to be cleaning the fucking deadlift platforms and shit like that. They're not.
What I would do in that, like, maybe it's just me. I do the seat, the handles, and majority of the time on a leg press, you've got like the handle on the top as well.
Yeah. You give that away. Yeah.
But you never once think about pushing, like wiping the sled. No. Ever.
Can
we talk about another thing? Folk who train in sliders, why? It aggravates the shite in me. I don't know why.
I can tell you exactly why.
Why?
Exactly why people train in sliders, and it's scientific explanation.
You can tell me it's because Chris Bumstead?
No. Well, I was actually going to say JP. JP trains in sliders, and therefore, some people that are coached by JP or were coached by JP, no names, then started wearing sliders because they couldn't tie their shoelaces.
Okay.
So they used sliders, even though like times they weren't wearing sliders and they were out in public, they were wearing normal shoes and managed to tie their shoelaces.
Right.
And then people that idolize those people then think, well, they're wearing fucking sliders, so I'm going to wear sliders. And then it works down like the degenerate pecking order that way.
I don't know why. It just annoys me when I see somebody train sliders. I initially think, I really hope a 20-kilo plate falls in that fucking feet. Like, I don't know why, but it just really aggravates the shit at me. It really does.
It's just a fashion thing. It's a fashion thing. I'm pretty sure JP had a reason, or has a reason why he does it.
Is JP, he's allowed off a lot of things.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I'm pretty sure he has a valid reason for it. The people that follow him like sheep do not. Or
JP actually once pissed himself in a session so he can get a rep. Other folk aren't going to go that far.
Well, they might tell you that.
Don't know. I have actually witnessed somebody at Pure Gym actually shit themselves on the leg press. But, you know, it wasn't anything spectacular. It wasn't like JP style, like going for a press and like pissing yourself because you can't control it.
Hang on. Remember, everyone's weight is relative. So it might not have been impressive to you, me, JP, you know, or whatever. I mean, JP's, I can't remember what the fuck I seen him leg pressing the other day. Something that I wouldn't even.
Yeah, that Arsenal leg press is.
My entire session would have been putting the plates on the fucking thing, let alone trying to even fucking move it. That's heavy for him. Say 13 plates aside is heavy for me. Again, 8 plates aside might be heavy for
Me.
I don't know, fucking Joe Blogs or whatever. So 3 plates aside for the person that shot themselves on it might have been extremely fucking heavy for them.
It wasn't. It was one rep. They farted and they followed through. They said, "I need to go to the bathroom," and you've seen the remains of the moisture coming like a trail. It was literally like a clean up on aisle 3.
Well, choose your pre-workouts wisely.
I had that today though, so I took that Rect Extreme, the one that's made by Review Bros, like the very first one they ever did. Took that with a pump, and oh my god, I felt so sorry for everybody who's beside me in that gym this morning because I was stinking. Like, how like there's sometimes you go for a fart, you're like, right, that's it. But there's sometimes it's like every couple of minutes you're farting.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad. It was really bad. And every time I was doing a rep, I was doing it, and I was doing like my tempo work, my warm up, my leg press, and I could feel it coming up. I was like, fucking hold it, and I just felt like you can feel it start to pass the cheek a bit. And you're like, I need to go to the toilet. It was bad.
Oh dear.
Grim.
Mm-hmm.
It was shit. I took well, pardon the pun, but
yeah, no. What were we going to discuss? What was it? Best gym in Aberdeen.
Right. Okay. Right. Now, before
Because the last time I counted, I think there's like 4 or 5 best gyms in Aberdeen now.
Before we get into this, I also need to say I am currently with a gym. So my verdict here is null and void. Right?
No.
I can have a discussion, but I'm not going to say anything.
No. Both our verdicts are null and void because not one person can decide what the best gym in Aberdeen is.
I think the way I think it should be done is you create a survey monkey, you send it out to the people of Aberdeen, or you send a link out and they can join onto it if they want. And you have all the gyms in Aberdeen. It's not just the 4 people who have said the best one. You go like you add in Snap Fitness, you add in whatever Pure Gym, you add in like what other fucking hotel gyms there are. You add everything in, and at the end of say a month,
Mm-hmm.
the clear winner is that's who the people think is better.
Yeah, but there's the Aberdeen Business or Scottish Business Awards or Aberdeen Business Awards anyway. So why that would settle it instead of having gyms self-proclaiming themselves the best gym in Aberdeen? Well, who fucking voted for you? I've not placed a vote one way or the other. So I haven't voted. So you haven't voted. Nobody's fucking voted for the best gym in Aberdeen. But you've got X amount of clubs being like, we're the best gym in Aberdeen. Voted for by who? Your board of directors. We're the best. Who decided? Well, now, guess what? On this podcast today, you're speaking to the 2023 Mr. Olympia because I've just decided that I am Mr. Olympia. No voting or judging has been done, but I'm now Mr. Olympia. So congratulations. First person to speak to Mr. Olympia 2023. Competition hasn't even happened yet. You can't just decide.
I know why you get riled up, right? Especially after what's been going on in Chapelton, right? I completely understand why this riles you up so fucking much. But it's something that businesses do just to make themselves sound,
That one with Chapelton, though, fuck them. Honestly, fucking Chapelton Community Council. Get the fuck. We're going to charge you interest. You're going to charge me interest on a late fucking payment for my community fees. Like, it wasn't even late, so it's like, if you're late paying, you're going to be charged interest. Well, excuse me, fucking Chapelton Community Council. I don't remember entering any credit agreement with you where there's payments and you're lending me money for there to be interest charged to.
Do you have to sign into that? Like, can you actually say, no, I'm not paying it?
No. So it's in the D's when you buy the house that you've got to pay it, which is fine. Like, I don't mind paying it. I've got no issue paying it. But don't tell me you're going to charge me interest when I haven't borrowed any money from you.
Right.
I'm not in a credit agreement with you. Like, this is what I said to the guy, like the managing director, when he emailed me. I was like, well, that's fine. But what you need to do then is say there's going to be an admin fee of X amount for late payment. Job done. That's
so
like
basically you want it worded differently rather than being called interest.
I want it worded correctly. I don't want to be threatened with charge with interest. as I've said like 100 times this week, I'm not on a credit agreement with you. Where's your APR percentages? Where's the terms and conditions of you lending me money to pay in the community council? You haven't done it. So it's not interest, it's a late admin fee, and just call it what it is. Simple. So a week of arguing with fucking people in the community councils got me like, I'm standing for mayor.
So hold on, Mayor in the
Military
Olympia
takeover.
23 winner.
What's that?
Mayor in Olympia 23 winner.
I just decided, declared myself.
I can't cope. No, I can't stand. Like, I can't stand the thought of knowing I'm going to be a confined space of you on a plane in August and there's nowhere to go. It scares the shit out of me. It really does.
I'll be absolutely fine, unless there's no drinks on the plane, and then there'll be a bit of a hoo-ha.
I'm going to take a shot and just test fucking no suspension right before we fly. That'll just time me right over.
To be honest, I'll be pissed by the time I get on the plane, so it won't make any difference. Be fucking sleeping somewhere over London.
I can't do that because also I need to be a responsible father until we land, and then after that it can be like.
Aye. Yeah, fair enough. That's true.
Trying to find shorts though, fucking name. I told Justine my idea about wearing shorts because I'll actually have legs, and she's like, "No." Like, all right, cool, sound.
You would get the short. Those little short ones in Boohoo are probably fine.
Aye, I'll need to have.
That'd be the sort of things I'd be inclined to go for, but I've got mine, which are just regular size shorts. Well, not short shorts, but they're not long either. If you know what I mean. They're just shorts.
I just look for board shorts. They're literally like men's physique shorts, but I've got a set of legs, kinda. So I want to show them.
Just take your board shorts and cut them in half.
I'm not doing that. Absolutely not.
Daisy Dukes.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that to my DCs. Absolutely fucking not.
Or wear the board shorts and just do men's physique poses by the pool.
Could do. What I might do is I might do men's physique poses, right? And I might do it for 3 years without any of my weight going up and looking exactly the same.
That's a fucking brilliant idea. I think you should do that. I think you should absolutely do that. I mean, I think there's somebody that's already beaten you to that.
I'm going to do a comparison. I'm going to do a comparison. Because my weight, I've been in my head this week a little bit because my weight is sitting, as this morning, 0.2 heavier than last week. I am a lot leaner than last week.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel small as fuck, if that makes sense. So I know skill weight makes no fucking difference, and that's not what he should be always going to aim for. But I'm like, wonder like what progress I actually have made.
Well, you will make progress.
Huh?
You can't have not made progress. You can't not. Like, well, saying that, actually, that kind of defeats the purpose of this person that hasn't made any progress over 3 years.
About that, we're not going into that, right?
Yeah.
What we're going into is like, I don't know. Like, look, I'm not saying all that weight's gone straight to my legs. I had to go in somewhere else, but right now I'm not feeling confident it went any other place.
I think once you get into it, you'll see. Like, there's always a stage. So even in prep, and I remember saying it to Drew, and it's a bit like how I'm feeling now, but probably 20 pounds heavier than when I said it to Drew last time during prep, was when I don't feel like I look like I lift or anything. Do you mean it's almost like that, especially with the lack of, and you'll have it as well if you're now cruising as well, that lack of anabolic pop as well, and that sort of feeling. You just kind of feel flat and not to be pissing on anyone's parade, almost normal, like just run of the mill, average, walking around the street, somebody who doesn't train, that sort of feeling. And I've got it just now, but like I say, I'm probably 20 pounds heavier than when I last had it. So there's progress there. It's just a feeling.
Well, that's the thing. So when I started with Cam, very first, I was 186 pounds. And I was nowhere near lean at all whatsoever. Whereas right now I'm sitting at 194. and I'm lean. Or ish. Leanish, shall we say? We'll see leanish. I'm getting to the point now, I'm starting to get veins coming up across like the lower end of my abdomen from my groin. But that they've always come in quick. So obviously I know there has been progress made, but just looking at it, it's just like for the work that
I think
I've
I just
put in the food, it just doesn't look like it's been that kind of reward.
I think there's always just that period, and then Drew as well said it as well. You'll find, like when you're dieting, if you put it in the best way possible, you'll have this feeling of not feeling like you're anything really. You're just there, which is probably where I'm at just now. And then you get to the stage where you start to look a bit like fitness model look. You know, some more abs start coming through and all the rest of it. And then the leaner you get, the more bodybuilder and you look, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So he's like, you kind of go through these stages, and then obviously you start filling back out again at the end of the diet. So you get those stages. So I think it's just normal to feel like that at certain points. But yeah, I don't know. Like this is what the thing, and then I try and think to how clients are obviously feeling. Whereas because dieting's so fucking easy in terms of like when I sent those pictures to Drew 4 weeks ago, and he's like your body fat's a bit high, we need to trim this off for a few weeks. There was no second thought to being like, well, cut that out, cut that out, cut that out, cut that out. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, well, just fucking get rid of it. Like it's just food. Just there's no emotional attachment to it. But when you go to a client and be like, right, you've done your food diary over 2 or 3 days, and this is what you're eating, right? We're removing that, we're removing that, remove it. There's almost a fucking meltdown within them. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh shit, but but I really like that fucking chocolate bar I have every day. But you're not getting it. You know,
right. Question. You had, I think this.
Like, I don't get people's attachment to food. It's not going anywhere. You're just removing it for a period of time.
Right. Perfect the way you said that, because I am like that too. Because me personally, I do not have any attachment to food whatsoever.
Well, I fucking love my food.
Right. So, but you're saying you don't understand people's attachment to food. That then also goes to your coaching thing, saying if a person is not like that, how can they then explain that or feel that, whatever? So you personally don't have that attachment to food or whatever. How can you then be like, because it's like the way I see it is you are in the mindset, you want to get to the goal, you want to have this. Somebody's been doing this by themselves and they're wanting to seek help. Fair enough, you're telling them, do it this way, it will work. But they're going to be like, fuck, I've had so many years of this habit being built up of being able to eat whatever they want for the sake of 12 weeks and for swapping it all like literally night and day. It's so hard rather than have to build it in. Like for my clients, every one of my clients will get chocolate on a certain day or whatever. You do that too.
Yeah.
But when people say like, oh, I'm going to completely cut out the foods and stuff like that, I can see
completely cut it doesn't work for everyone. But then if I back to my point of experience at all for I don't know however many years it was, my staple fucking go-to lunch was whatever the fuck I was having, whether it was a salad, a sandwich, or whatever. I would always have, for years, a bag of McCoy's salt and vinegar crisps and a fucking dairy milk.
Okay.
Every day for years. Right? But then over a cumulative time, well, that's not getting me results. And then when I decided to go fucking all into this, well, I can't have that anymore. So I got rid of it.
Yeah.
It's gone. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? It's like, well, if I want to get the goals, so somebody might be in the same boat that they've been having the same fucking dairy milk bar every day, and now it needs to go. Well, let it go. Like, at the end of the 12-week block with me, go and get your dairy milk bar. Like, it's still, Cadbury's is not something going to go out of fucking business. Like, the inflation might, you might, start with me and your fucking dairy milk's 50 pence a bar. And by the time you're finished 12 weeks later, it might be £2.50.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be there. But if you want to get results in this period of time, you're going to have to let it go. Or 90% of it, you're going to have to let it go. There might be one day where you can have it. Instead of having it for 7 days, you might only get it on one day.
So here's a question. You also diet clients down your way because it's how you would one probably prefer how to be coached by yourself, like how you'd vet it. I diet my clients down one certain way because I'd want them to do it a certain way too.
Yeah.
Say, for example, you've got twins, right?
Mhm.
You've got two females, exact same weight, exact same height, exact same age. You diet them the way
Sorry, right, carry on.
twins, Basil, twins. Right. It's a good thing I never said they're male because then you would be really fucking excited. Right. So, right. You, for yourself, you diet person A your way.
Yeah.
Let's just say we then get somebody like Emma Story Gordon to diet the second female, who is very, very, very big on, I'll say, flexibility with foods. Emma Story Gordon?
Oh, never heard of her.
Okay.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. Regardless, doesn't matter. Right.
Really, really knowledgeable, like amazing at what she does with nutrition.
Yeah.
But hers is literally a bit more about flexibility.
Mhm.
You both have the same time frame of say 20 weeks.
Mhm.
Both end up looking exactly the same at the end of it. Is it what happens?
Good on her.
Okay.
You know, good on it. If it works, that's cool. Like, there's more. I've never said there's only one way to skin a cat.
Yeah.
But what you tend to find is we work in 12-week blocks. Okay. Or generally we'll work in 3-month blocks. The whole point I had behind B2B wasn't necessarily client retention.
Okay.
It was to teach folk the basics and understanding. So at the end of the 12 weeks, somebody, say I've got one client that comes to me completely fucking clueless on week 1. By week 12, they should be in a position where they understand the processes. You know, if they're invested into it, they understand. So at week 12, if they want to stay on, I'm happy to have you, unless you're a double pain in the arse, in which case I'll be like, no, 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 that's the job done. Right? They should be in a position to move on, because I don't want to be in this forever cycle of holding clients and seeing them as, and I don't mean this like to PTs that have client retention. I don't want to have cash cows. You know, I don't want to have clients that are on and on and on and on, like dragging their process out for months and months and months just so I've got a wage coming. I want to get week 1 to week 12, job done, and then they're confident enough and have enough knowledge to go out and maybe go to a more experienced coach, depending on what their goals are, or do a period on their own. Do you know what I mean? Like, so they've got enough knowledge to progress themselves by themselves without them. So I've only got a limited period of time, or I see it as I've only got a limited period of time to get big results and to explain the process the whole way through. So one client, which we both know, is teaching him every single day. Someone like messages or whatever with him every single day, explaining this is why we're doing it, this is what do this for your choices and all the rest of it. So at the end of the 12 weeks, he then knows, right, well, if I do this, it's going to work. If I have this, do you know what I mean? So you're going to have that balance and understand the balance. But to understand the balance initially, you need to go through a period of almost starting again. And that's your 12-week period with me.
Right. The person I'm thinking of, their last coach told them you cannot have this meal, blah, 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 with your family.
Well, that's right.
Right. But you are then saying if you can't cut out this for a certain time.
No. Right. So hang on.
Or am I getting confused?
No. There is a little bit, but that meal with his family is more important than almost the end goal, because
100%.
it's family time, right? So what we've done is kept that meal in, and okay, his goals are slightly different because he's aiming to grow anyway, so it's not a big issue. Now, those meals with his family tend to be pretty fucking healthy and low calorie anyway. But that's more important. So what we've done is pulled out the shit from elsewhere and kept that family meal in, because it's not the food that's the focus point there. It's sitting around the family table as a family unit, teaching those kids like what a family is or what a family unit should be, and that is spending time together over a meal.
Okay.
That's more important. But that's that one client. Other clients are coming to me and go, well, I want to be fucking peeled in 12 weeks. Okay, well, we can get you peeled in 12 weeks. But see those 2 bags of crisps and 2 chocolate bars and fucking McDonald's you're eating every day? You're not getting them. They're gone. Right? If you want to get peeled in 12 weeks, you've got to sacrifice something. And it's got to be the shit.
So do you feel you'd be more lenient with somebody who's more lifestyle rather than we get fucking shredded?
If somebody was more lifestyle, someone came to me and went, right, I live an active lifestyle, or sorry, not an active lifestyle, a heavy social life.
Yeah.
But I want to get in better shape. Well, yeah, and I'm not one that I fucking hate this banking calories. I wouldn't do that approach, but I would be like, right, okay, well, Sunday to Friday, or Sunday to Thursday, or whatever it is, we're going to be pretty fucking harsh here. You know, it's like getting ahead of the game, so that instead of taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back, or sorry, 1 step forward and 2 steps back, you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back at that social point. You know, but you're still going to get the results. And as I will say, we'll get you somewhere near there in 12 weeks. But if you're adamant that you can't change every aspect of your lifestyle, it's going to take a lot longer. Do you know what I mean? So at that 12 weeks, we can make a dent in it. But if you want it to be, this is your end goal, but you don't want to sacrifice 100% of everything, well, it's going to be a little bit further down the line. It's going to be maybe 6 months or 8 months.
Yeah.
If it's a client who comes to me and only say wants to, or you'll work it out in the consultation call, doesn't want to have any give whatsoever, but still wants results, I'm just not going to take them on. I'm not that desperate for money. Do you know what I mean? Like, so if you're not willing to give me, like, I want 100%, but you know, there's a point where lifestyle maybe has to be 75 or 80% you give me, and you know, you've got that 20-25% to sort of please yourself. If you're not even willing to give me that, I don't want you. You're not, you do you know what I mean, all you're going to do is create a headache for me. You're not going to see the results at the end of it. Go bother the PT that's never dieted. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, people have to be willing to sacrifice and give you something to get results, or get to the end of the day. I know I can get shredded. Like, I know I can do it in 10 weeks. I can do it. This results, I'm not putting this time and effort in for me. I'm not the one that's going to benefit at the end. You are. And if you're not willing to get sacrifice and put the effort in, why the fuck should I?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, every client is different, but you've got to judge which one who you're taking on and if they're a right fit.
I have had that beforehand. I've actually dropped a client because there wasn't any. I've dropped 2. One's a male, one's a female. One was because she would never check in at all. In the sessions, all she would do is complain how, like, we'd be doing a warm up of just bodyweight squats and be like, this is hard. And it's like, I've seen you leg press like 4 plates on leg press, and you're finding bodyweight squats hard because you're just having to do exercise that you don't like. And I said, I'm sorry, but it's not working out because I'd rather spend this hour at home with my son, and you're taking time away from that. The other person,
somebody who wants results.
Yeah, and the other person was literally like, he would not follow anything. He thought the idea of having a coach was like going to fix everything. You know, how much time I spent with them, you know, how we should break things down bit by bit, rather than slamming everything into 1 hour. We broke into individual weeks, what we're going to work on. It was like, nah, sorry, mate, I just haven't even tried. I was like, right, okay, well, I'm not going to try you. Bye.
Yeah.
Payment cancelled. Done.
At the end of the day, the client's like the fucking oil liner or cruise ship. We're just the fucking tugboats. You know, they're guiding it into where it needs to be. Like,
I call it. So you're saying?
No, can I go?
So I like to call it lottery syndrome, and I got this from you. Right? You've got this saying where you're like, oh, honestly, be fucking ace to win the lottery. Do you ever put a lottery ticket on?
No.
Nah. Right? Nah. Right? But then you're like, oh, I'm going to get a PT, I'm going to get in shape. You put the effort in. Nah. Lottery syndrome.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you actually go make that move to buy that ticket, you're not going to get fucking anywhere.
Correct. I mean, I'm touch wood extremely. It's either lucky or right choices, but the clients have got us now. None of them skip a week.
Yeah, that's what you need. That's what every coach wants. I've got my the two that started last week. Holy shit, man! They're in my pocket every day, every day, and it's ace. Not once I look at my phone and go, "This person's messaged." It's like, all right, they've messaged. Like, what's the question now? Like, it's ace. They're so switched on with everything. It's fantastic, and it's like you tell they want it. Whereas other people, you don't even hear from them when you send your check and feedback. You don't even get, oh, thanks, mate, or yeah, I like that idea. This is what the plan's going to be, or whatever.
I just wonder, like, I mean, I've got, as much as I'm sort of like this emotionless black hole, I've got this thing where I don't want to ride off of people. So if somebody isn't doing that, I don't want their money. Like, there'd be plenty of coaches out there that would be like, oh, well, fuck it, this cunt doesn't care, but they're paying me every month. Oh, well, happy days. Yeah. I'd rather go without the money than have, be taking money off somebody that isn't interested. Like, I don't want to sound like, elitist or anything, but there's no value in that money. Like, that's doing nothing for me. Like, earning that fucking 150 quid a month or whatever from this one person who doesn't care. You keep your money, you put it in your pocket and fuck off and do whatever you want to do with it and stay the fuck away from me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'd rather not have it. It's like, almost like having blood money or fucking, dirty money or something in your pocket. I don't want it. Fucking tainting my life with your fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's, I take pride in working with folk and trying to get the best results from them. But if they're not willing to do it, then I don't want that money, because that's just, I'm not gaining anything from it. I'm not going to get a fucking 5-star review at the end of it from this person, am I? They can't even be asked to fucking check, so what are they going to do? Suggest me to their friends? Probably not. The cunt probably doesn't even notice the money missing out their fucking account every month.
That's the thing I always find with PTing. Like, if a client doesn't stick to it, right, we're only there to give the information. We're there to help to a certain degree, but they actually put the work in.
Yeah.
If they don't, and they're like, "Oh, somebody getting a PT, what about the one you're with?" And he goes, "Nah, I never lost any weight." But they'll fail to neglect the fact that we're smashing a Chinese in every fucking Friday, a Domino's on a Tuesday, going out getting absolutely cunted, not tracking anything.
Exactly.
Like, people don't even realize, like, you can be in a deficit and be hitting everything 100%, right? But within the sake of having one full fat Coke and a can of one full fat Monster in a day, you're taking yourself out of the deficit.
Correct.
Like, just 2 drinks, and folk don't realize it.
Oh, no, totally. I mean, because your deficit shouldn't be that big generally, but, depending on the goal. So I've maybe chopped out 1,000 calories, but I wouldn't necessarily do that to
everyone.
In fact, I probably wouldn't do it to the vast majority of it. It would be 200 or 300 calories a day that you're losing, and then obviously when you plateau, it's another 200-300 calories, and all the rest of it. And that adds up over time. But like you say, 300 calories is 2 cans of Coke, essentially. And then it's just 1 can. You're fucking up the whole thing. Like, don't be so fucking stupid. There's like drinks out there that exist for a reason. Coke Zero, right, is a 0-calorie drink, different from Diet Coke, because Diet Coke tastes different from normal Coke, whereas Coke Zero tastes exactly the same as fucking normal full fat Coke.
Nope. Disagree. Fucking disagree.
I don't drink Coke anyway.
Utter slanderous bullshit. I don't drink
Coke anyway. If you read the Coke website,
you're looking too much arsehole, mate. That's why your taste fucking receptors are fucked.
If you read the Coke, the descriptions of them, that's what Coke Zero is. It's meant to be a complete substitute for full fat Coke without the sugar.
Nope.
Otherwise, what's the point between Diet Coke and Zero? I'm only repeating the information I've read. I don't know because I don't drink it, so I don't really care. Like, it doesn't make any difference to me. Like, I wouldn't go to the shop and buy a bottle of Diet Coke. I wouldn't do it. The only time I drink a cola flavored beverage, we're using Coca-Cola, but as an example, I'll use Pepsi, as if I'm having some rums.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? So I couldn't tell you the difference, but if you read the blurb, that's what Coke Zero is, a paddle. So don't have your full fat Coke, like full can of sugar, like fucking sugar Coke, and put yourself out the deficit. Have the Coke Zero.
Yeah. Like my go-to is like I love Great Fanta, like the full sugar one. It's banging. Comes in a purple tin. 180 calories per tin. Then you can get a 500ml bottle of reduced sugar or like sugar-free one.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste the same. It's enough to kind of like be like, okay, there's a bit of a grape flavor there. And it's like, I'll say like, the 15 calories or whatever. But like say 1 tin, like, or even go a tin and a half, will fuck you right over. Like,
yeah.
But folk just don't realize that. And every time like I've said to some people beforehand, I want you to track everything. And when I mean everything that goes into your body, that 2 days, 3 days, track everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it back, and it's like, oh right, so you've literally only had this. You've had no fizzy drinks or anything. Oh yeah, I had a can of Coke. Why is it not being tracked? Oh, because it's a fluid. Sound right. Now we've addressed the issue. Now we know why weight's not dropping.
Yeah. Now I've said this before as well to a client who had a bit like we were saying, like have the chocolate bar every day. So like the Mars bar duos.
Yes.
So their snack every day was a can of Coke, full sugar Coke, or whatever the fuck it was, Pepsi, full sugar, whatever. I assume it was Coke, and a Mars bar duo. And I was like, oh, I'm going to eat a can. You know what I mean? They were on the edge about cutting all that out, and I was like, right, okay, well, baby steps. So have half the Mars bar duo. So you like have one half of it, save the other half for the next day, and swap the Coke for Coke Zero or Diet Coke. Like it's still the same fucking process.
Mm-hmm.
But they couldn't even fucking do that. Because the second part was fucking sitting looking at them with the Mars bar. And it's like, how can you not just be like, oh, I'll stick that away?
Exactly.
I don't have them anymore. Do you know what I mean? But like,
I think that's why you need to trust clients as well. Like certain clients, I'll give, for example, jelly tots in their plan. Right? Fucking anabolic goodness that they are.
Well, I put Haribo's in some of mine.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
But I'll only do it with select few because I know they will actually stick to like say 20 grams post workout. Rather than it's like 12, 13. Rather than adding in 40, 50 grams. And adding in that extra 120 odd calories or whatever.
Weighing out the 20 grams of Haribo with 20 grams of jelly tots and then taking a few out of the bag at the same time.
Funny that, yeah. They don't count. They never go weighed.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's only 1 or 2.
3 calories.
Yeah. This is like, so one of the things that I use to try and keep the client happy, if that's what they're used to having, but limiting it. Mm-hmm. And like you say, it has got to be a trust. And the client I've got them on just now, trust him completely that he's not going over and above.
Yeah.
And the results will show. In fact, the results are already starting to show a little bit. But anyway, so it's, trust in the client. If you've got somebody who can't fucking be trusted to have fucking 4 Haribos and instead they have 6 or 8, well, guess what? You're now just not getting any.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I try to trust you with this and you couldn't fucking do it. So, like the naughty step, I'm just taking it away from you now. You had your toys for an hour. You played for an hour and a half. I'm taking them off you.
God, it sounds like just out of me. You had your 5 minutes. You're trying to go for 7. It's not happening. Fuck off.
Yeah,
too much toe sucking.
It's give and take, is it? But yeah, I mean, if you want results, you're going to have to sacrifice. Echo that to the fucking day I die. If I can sacrifice, and I love Molly's bars, I can sit and eat fucking 3 or 4 boxes of Molly's bars with 5 of them at a time.
You rate them all.
Fucking rate them all. But if I need to lose weight, oh well, the fucking box of Molly bars is still sitting in the fucking cupboard from 4 weeks ago. I haven't touched it. Look at it every day when I open the cupboard. You know, if I can do it, anyone can do it. You just have to want it. And if you don't want it, then you're going to find an excuse to fucking keep your diet. In which case, never do one.
Right, mate. I think we're at the end of there because I need to go put Brody to bed.
I need to go get some food.
Yeah, I've got 3 more meals on the still need cramming.
6 boxes of Molly bars. Come on, man. Joking. I'm joking. I might go have some fucking beef and veg.
Yeah, I've got my mince meal, I've still got my chicken wrap meal, and I've still got to have my turkey bacon and egg meal. Oh my day. It was a long day. We went to McDuff Aquarium today, and the place literally smelled like a Tory quine on a Friday night.
I've not been up there for years. Is it any good?
Hasn't, like, the last time I went there was in primary school, it hasn't changed in over 20 odd years.
That's a speak fucking minging.
Still tiny, still stinking of fish, like say Tory quine on a Friday night, just reeking. Brody wasn't even fussed.
Yeah.
Like, we thought, oh, it'd be like fishies because he fucking loves Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
He was literally too busy walking around trying to find stairs to climb. Like,
Yeah.
then we went to Spotty Bag Shop. That was,
Did you go to the restaurant?
yeah,
Yeah. It's actually not bad.
it's
Like it's not a fine dining meal, but if you're just wanting like a fine sandwich and a bowl of soup or something, it's not bad.
yeah. I had the roast chicken, and it wasn't because also like because I only had that was my second meal. I just made the calories work,
Mhm.
and it wasn't anything like.
I actually think I had a Christmas dinner up there once. I was up with a colleague and we were like, right, we need to go somewhere for lunch. So we went there and it was a Christmas menu. And yeah, I think the roast was a bit shite, to be fair.
It's dry as fuck.
Yeah. But some of the other stuff, like the fish and chips are fine.
Yeah.
Fucking shoot me.
Well, it's not fucking right from there, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I want to eat the fish out of fucking McDuff Harbour, like fucking McDuff shipyards fucking chopping away and throwing their fucking weldings fucking splatter into the sea.
Once again, Tory quite on a Friday night, mate.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went to Count as well as Aldi because they do the packs of chicken for 2 kilos, which is pre-cut.
Curtin as well.
Yeah.
Curtin as well. They got an Aldi.
Mm-hmm. Brand new, just opened, all nice and outside. It looks exactly the same as any other fucking Aldi and inside.
Yeah.
But the only one I've seen that do the 2 kilo packs of chicken, which is pre-cut. All you have to do is scoop it out and fire it.
I've stopped buying chicken breast from Aldi's because they're fucking minging. And I don't like
Aldi's
diced
one of the better ones, to be fair.
Morrison's is the best, but I don't like the diced chicken because I'm so fucking fussy about cutting every little bit that doesn't look like chicken out.
Oh, just things like that.
So the diced chicken, I would be there sifting through it for like the fucking like somebody in the gold rush with the fucking pans and the water and shit, trying to find every bit of chicken. So what I started doing is buying their large packs of mini fillets.
Okay.
You just chop that little fucking pokey white tendon bit off at the end, and that's it. It's good to go.
Okay.
And you can get, I think the packs are like 600 grams or 700 grams or something. So you need to buy a fair few of them, but it saves me time and stress, like looking for every little fucking speck of my chicken. So
I think what we're going to do in this push-up, we're going to move over to to chicken thighs.
I fucking said that to you weeks ago. Literally, you're like, nah, fuck it. I'd rather eat my cookies. I can find the fucking messages and send it back to you.
See, at one point on that push-up phase, mate, I was on 6 squares bars a day, and my jaw was getting fucking abs. So the amount of fucking tunas doing, I was fucking hating it.
Yeah.
So this is me, like, I'm fucking loving this now. The fact I'm just like cruising along, 3,100 calories, and just.
Aye, it is. Do you know what? You feel better for it, and then I know this week I'm just going to start pushing up and pushing drugs again. But I've got my diet sorted. I think so. It should be relatively fucking clean, and I'm not going to be jumping the gun. I'll do it a lot more smaller increments, if that makes sense, and just fucking ride them out as much as possible. Because I'm bad for it. I get impatient. Like I end up being like, oh, fucking hell, I'm only up fucking 2 pounds this week. Fucking like another 500 fucking calories in the mix, usually from shite. And then it's like, yeah, diet again. So no.
I usually run that 2-week increments. Like if the weight hasn't pushed up in 2 weeks,
that's a
then
good.
I start looking to do it because also weight can also fluctuate so much. Like if you've got a client who, like, say in a checking day, like 1 week, the weight hasn't dropped at all. Sometimes I'll get them, like if there's checking days on a Friday, I'll get them to check in on the Wednesday or the Tuesday. If there is any fluctuation, 9 out of 10 there is.
Yeah.
You know, before we make any changes, because it's pointless having like, oh, weight is coming down for some reason we're fluctuating a heavier meal or later on in the night you ate and then you're checking at the same time and then you're making calorie cuts for the fucking sake of it.
You wouldn't be too reactive too soon.
Yeah.
I'll just monitor the situation with that. But yeah, no. So I'm going to aim for just £2 a week gain this over the next 12 weeks. Which will put us in a nice 12, 24. Yeah, that'll put us in mid 230s. So happy days.
Can only fucking dream of that.
Yeah. I mean, it's still pretty small compared to some of these fucking monsters out there, but
No, that guy Leon from Physique Collective, he's in at 230 and he's a fucking animal.
I know. It just goes to show you.
Fucking
Remember, like, Phil Heath was only like fucking 240 or something, and he was winning fucking Aachen.
yeah. Samson Dowda was 297 on stage.
But he's just huge, like tall as well, and just big.
Yeah.
Beautiful physique.
And he won. Good on him.
Beautiful. Yeah, he did. He deserved to win that. He's like, by all accounts, from what I've heard, he's a nice guy as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not a prick, and he's got a very, very pleasing physique. What are you laughing at?
You're like, not a prick. There's like signs of being a decent guy, just need a prick. Like,
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much all you need. Just don't be an arsehole. Yeah, so no, he looked fucking ace. But yeah, that's what I mean. But he wouldn't, if you look at somebody else that's £300, they might look like a bit of a mess. But at 297,
just fucking slabs.
yeah, he just looked fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So it was a good win for him. 300 grand is all the prize money.
I bet Nick Walker's fucking spitting feathers.
Well, you still got 200 grand from it.
I know, but you'd rather fucking 300 grand, would you?
Well, you'd probably rather have had the win, but to be fair, Nick's obviously the sort of person who's just going to come back fucking absolutely fighting. You know, he'll be absolutely ferocious. But 300 grand for the Arnold, it's almost worth not doing the fucking Olympia.
No. Wow, some people's fucking expectation, right? So I used to be on this website beforehand for, you had to pay to generate leads for clients.
Right.
Yeah, so they look out for, like, say, a personal trainer, and you then pay for their contact details.
Yeah.
My budget for a personal trainer is £10 a session, which is what I'm used to. Which is what I'm used to paying. Anything over that is too expensive.
Oh well, man. Enjoy your journey of absolutely zero progress.
Wow. Like, I'm not being funny, but there's a reason I don't do overtime in the morning in my day job, because it's actually not worth my time to what I make in PT. Not to sound big-headed, but for my time for an hour PTing isn't worth me doing overtime at my day job.
Correct.
Wow.
£10.
That is.
So basically, what you want to do is have a training partner, because that £10 is basically your fee for, like,
not even,
you know,
like,
in fact, your PT then would be out of pocket because you're paying the rent or whatever, or however, you know, if you pay £10 per client to the gym. So basically, they want to pay you the £10 that you can then pass to the fucking gym owner.
One of my clients went to me, oh, like, I'd like you to, like, maybe once every month or so, like, take me through a session. I was like, yeah, that's fine, no worries. He goes, this is my fee for a one-off session, because he's a hybrid client, he's an online client. And he goes, oh, well, I'd rather do it when you're training. I was like, right, if I'm training at the same time, it's free, because that's me training in my own time. So I'm not going to charge you for that, right? The information you get because you're already my client, that's totally free.
Yeah.
If it's me taking time away from my family, then
it's charging. Yeah. So I'm actually training going to train one of my clients this time in their home, and it is. I said that as well. Look, it's not obviously it can't be a PT session because I'm not, you know,
out that place.
Yeah, exactly. But not even that. And I was like, but I'll train with you as a training partner.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll push each other, but it's not a PT session. Do you know what I mean? Like, you get all the information online. We're just going to go in and chuck some fucking metal about and make some noise and, you know, have a bit of fun time. But I'm not PTing you. That's the bottom line, because then it's not a training session. And if I'm trying to progress and it's one of my days, I'm going to be pretty pissed off if I'm not getting my level of session. And do you know what I mean? Because I'm all of a sudden now coaching you.
Yeah, I've had that. You train with somebody and you say, I'm looking for a training partner for the session. And they're like, oh, yeah, I'll do that. and you're literally going into it and you're not even fucking spotting me. Like, you're not even making an effort to actually train with me. You're here just getting, and I've noticed it beforehand, you're there, like, they're asking questions. Like, you're just basically trying to dig me for information for fucking free.
Yeah.
Like,
This is why I only train with certain people, and they tend to be people, or the ones that, you know, yourself and Alice and I excluded. They tend to be people that are bigger and stronger or whatever. So, like Danny or Drew or whatever. And I'm not there to be PT. I just want that kick up the arse, because 9 times out of 10, I train by myself. So it's in fact probably fucking, like, I'll train with somebody once every 20 sessions or something. Do you know what I mean? So I just need that kick up the arse, but it's not. I'm not there to fucking abuse their knowledge. Do you know what I mean? It's yeah.
arseholes,
Anyway,
man.
tons.
Aye, just arseholes. Like, who the
Good
fuck's
job.
waste £10 on a fucking PT? Oh, just.
It's a good job we're not monetized on this fucking YouTube thing, is it?
I don't think we're big enough to do that yet.
Yeah. Do you know what? If I was going to be dictated to that, I couldn't fucking swear or talk about drugs or talk about fucking certain things. I wouldn't want to be monetized anyway.
If Dave Crosland can manage, so can we.
I know, but I'm not conforming to the fucking rules of society set by the Illuminati.
Oh, God, we're not getting you fucking conspiracy theories.
No, we're not. Right, go put your kid to bed. I need to go to the shite and eat some food.
It sounds like an absolute pleasure, sir. Perfect.
It will be.
Oh, folk are just fucking weird. Justin told me to jump on that Vinted. No, because like we're looking for stuff for Brody, because there's always Jordans for kids' shoes and stuff.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I should have a look at Vinted for you. So there's looking at Jordans there. Folk are selling a pair of Jordans with the heels fucking kicked in for like 120 quid. It's like, they're fucking kicked in. Who the fuck's gonna be buying them? Get a grip.
Naked.
Right. Anyway, tatty bye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.